Hello, this lesson is about synthetic division and then using synthetic division to find real zeros of a polynomial. Now I had skipped synthetic division, so we are coming back to it. All right, so lots of people do synthetic division differently. So the way I may draw my boxes will be different than maybe you have learned. But the process is the same. Okay, so what we first need to do, very different than long division. Note that this is what you're dividing. And if this was true in our polynomial, we would have x equals -3, correct? So we're actually going to use that as my divider. And I put it in a box. That's the way I was taught, so that goes into a box. And then the coefficients are written to the right. Okay. And then you draw a line. Okay, this first one, and it's very different. It's very different than regular division. So the first one goes straight down. You don't do anything with it. It just goes down. Then whatever comes down here in this box, you're going to, or down under the line, you're going to take it and multiply it by that. So that's -3, and then that comes over here. Okay. Then you're going to add straight down. That's 4. And then again, you're going to multiply and bring it over here this time, and this is -12. And then you're going to add straight down -10. And then you're going to multiply it again, 30. And this is going to be 21. All right. So then what do you do? Just like it's a bunch of random numbers. Yes. Now, we started at x cubed here. So whatever it is, you're going to take these numbers are your coefficients of your answer. So again, these are your coefficients of your answer. So if it starts at x cubed, when you come down into your answer, you're going to start with x squared. And this is a coefficient, and it's 1. The next one's going to be x, and here's my coefficient 4, and then -10. And then you're like, well, what about this? This is the remainder. If it's 0, no remainder. And remember, we write it as a fraction. So it's going to be plus 21 over your divisor, what you divided. And there you are. So let's recap some things. So here's the third, so you know whatever you do, it's going to be 1 less. So this is 3, so this is 2. If it was x to the 5th, this would be x to the 4th. It's always 1 less because you're dividing out the 1. Now it would be different. So this is synthetic division. We would only use it if it was x, not x squared or x to the 2nd, just x. All right, and then they decrease your degrees. So this is x squared, so this is x, and then no x, and then remainder here. And then these numbers in front, these are the coefficients of whatever your variables are. Okay. Let's try another one. Okay. So we're going to take this, and you're going to do the opposite. So it'd be x equals 3. So this goes in here. You do our coefficient. So that's 1, -4, -3, +18. Draw a line. Bring it down, the first one, 1, and multiply. Then add down. So you're adding -1, multiply, -3, add -6. Multiply, -18, 0. All right. So this tells me no remainder. 0 means no remainder. And that's what we're looking for. So we're going to take and find the zeros, the x-intercepts pretty soon. And that's what we want, that's 0 at the end. So this is x to the third. So I'm going to start at x to the second. The coefficient is 1 minus x minus 6. Okay, and that's my answer. So again, remember, these are the coefficients. And this time I didn't put a 1. And there's no remainder because the last digit is 0. Right, so how do I apply this? So we have to remember back when we were in chapter 4 with polynomials that when it was in factored form, it was easy to find the x-intercepts. We could just say, okay, x equals -4, x equals 6. With this is a multiplicity of 2, right? Okay. But what if it's in standard form? And we did some that we could use by grouping. But if you're looking at this one, can you group it? No. So is there a way to find the real zeros? So real means that they're not imaginary. You would have something imaginary if it didn't intersect the x-axis. All right, so those are the ones that we will be dealing with today for this lesson. And they're not going to give you any factors. So you just have to pick some numbers and kind of guess and hope for the best. So a lot of this is guess and check. And you're going to say, Ms. Mendoza, what numbers do we look at? So we look at the back end and the front end. You have to look at factors for that. So 1, -1, 2, -2, -4, 4, 5, -5. We'd always like to start with 1. And remember, if the remainder is 0 at the end, totally works. All right, so let's deal with 1. And let's try that one. So let's go with our coefficients 1, 8, 11, and -20. So remember, bring down the first one and multiply. Then add. Multiply. Then add. Multiply. Right, so that's 20. And add 0. Perfect. Remainder, that tells me 1 is the solution. Is a solution, which means it's a 0. I wrote root 0, x-intercept, right? It's all those things. Now, because we know it's to the third power, I have to look for 2 more. So I'm going to write this in our answer, x squared plus 9x plus 20, right? So when you do this, then you say, okay, can I factor this? Yes, I can. I can factor that. Factors of 20 are 4 and 5. And 4 and 5 is 9 when you add them. And 20, okay. I said 4 and 5, and I'm writing 9. 4 and 5. So it has to equal 0, because we're talking about x-intercepts. So x equals -4, and x equals -5. So we have 3 answers. Don't forget this one. I'm going to bring that down here. And we tested that again here. I just picked it. We always like to start at 1. Okay. And there you are, all the real zeros. And they don't repeat, therefore they're all a multiplicity of 1. All right, so let's test this one. Again, I'm going to start with 1. Oops, forgot to make a pen. Okay. 1, 2, -5. Now, the problem with synthetic division, when you're not given anything and you're using it to find the zeros. It is so easy to multiply wrong or add wrong. So if you're going to do this, really take your time and don't be distracted. All right, so what does this tell me? Not a zero. So this x equals 1, not a solution. Okay, so now we got to try another one. Okay, different color. Now I'm going to try -1. Okay, 1, 2, -5, -6. So bring number 1, multiply, -1, add down. Multiply, -1, add down, that's -6. Multiply, -6 times -1 is +6, 0. Ah, ding, 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 ding. Okay, that tells me that x equals 1 is the solution. Yay! Check. Smiley face. Okay, then I write this. Again, this is x to the third, so this is going to be x to the second plus x minus 6 equals 0. Can I factor it? Okay, factors of 6 are 1 and 6. 1 and 6. It's not going to give me a 1. So 2 and 3. Okay, that will give me a 1. And it's negative, so if this is positive and this is negative, that will work. X minus 2, x plus 3. 0. So my answers are x equals 2, x equals -3, and then don't forget this one, right? Oh, I already had it here. X equals -1. There they are. Again, multiplicity of 1. Okay, let's try another one. So hopefully this is practicing your synthetic division as well. Okay. All right, so let's test 1 again. You're going to say, well, what if 1 doesn't work? Then we try -1. What if that doesn't work? Well, we have 12. So let's see. So anything a factor of 12 we can try. Okay, and 2 multiple, okay. -3, -7. Okay, that's 5. Not it. Okay, -1, 2, -5, -4, 12. Bring down the first one, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply. Okay, not that one. You can see I could take a long time. So I'm going to try 2. Now, 5 would not be a good number to try because it doesn't go into 12. But I'm just going to do that. I usually like to do these problems with friends. We all try different numbers. Okay, multiply. There we go. There we go. Okay. So it took a little bit, but again, I stopped talking because I really just needed to focus. So then x equals 2, one of our solutions, and put it over there. So now I'm going to write it over here. We have x squared 2, right? It's coefficient -x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, so now we got to take a moment to do this. Factors of 2, 2x and x. All right. So I don't think it's going to be 6 and 1. So I'm going to try 2 and 3. And if I'm looking at this, if I put a 2 here, it's going to get multiplied by that one, which will get me 4. Okay, and 4 minus 3 is 1 for the middle. So I'm going to try that here, and then this here. I want the 4 to be bigger because it's negative, so it's going to be here and here. Okay. Just double checking in my head. I like to do that. So I was just multiplying that with -4. This was negative 4x and positive 3x, that would give me negative 1x or negative x. So x equals negative 3 over 2. Setting it equal to 0, this is equal to 2. So again, if you didn't remember, what I did was this, and then you solved it. Subtract 3 to both sides, and then divide by 2. So, oh, we already have a 2 here and a 2. So what does that tell you when you have 2? That's right, it's a multiplicity of 2. What you need to say, so I have x equals negative 3, x equals negative 2, and this is a multiplicity of 2. Therefore, this is the multiplicity of 1. There we are. Voila. And there is synthetic division and how we apply it to polynomials and why this would be easier to do using synthetic division as opposed to long division. That would take a very, very long time. All right. Thank you for watching. Aloha.